Welcome back to OpenLine. It is Beyond the News with meteorologist Bree Smith, going just beyond what you see on the daily newscast. You got weather questions, go ahead and ask them. If you got personal questions, you can ask some of those too. Somebody called in who didn't want to go on, wanting to know about the all-important winter weather forecast. I want to know this too.
I bet all the high schoolers too are like,
so how is that snow watch going to be?
When's my first snow day?
Yeah.
How do I get on that? No, it's a great question. I can say this as we look kind of climatologically, because this is what we look for with these cues out here. We are coming into an El Nino year. So when you look at the weather, you look at weather patterns on a global scale, and then you look at things on a slightly smaller scale, maybe on the scale of like a continent, and then you start to get smaller than that. You get to squall lines and so forth. So on a global scale, El Nino is when the Pacific Ocean, right around the tropics, so right around the equator, when it gets warmer than normal. And when the ocean water gets warmer than normal, it impacts the air above it. And what that does is it shifts the jet stream. And so when we shift the jet streams, that's what changes the doors that open for us. So we can look at an El Nino winter and we can say, these are the trends with it, while still recognizing that there will be individual swings. It's Nashville. It can be 75 one day and 5 the next.
Right.
But traditionally when we have El Nino winters, it is colder than normal here, and we have equal chances for precipitation. Along the Gulf Coast states, it tends to be wetter. So is it fair to say that that means more ice or more snow? No, it's not, because when it's cold and when it's wet remains to be seen. But it does look like it sets us up for a colder winter. Last winter was very cold. It has been an unusual year for us weather-wise.
We didn't really have a spring.
We didn't have a spring. It's also been an unusual, across the continent, across the U.S., across the North America, an unusual drought and severe weather. Kansas and Oklahoma didn't see much. So it has been an unusual year. There wasn't much of a spring. Our fall was starting to look a little dicey there, but we've landed on a legitimate fall. So at this point, looking into winter, I would say it looks to be colder.
Have you found this to be true? Because it's everywhere that I have lived as an adult, which would be Louisville, Michigan, and now here, people always say, well, in Louisville, just wait 5 minutes and the weather will change.
Yes, 100%.
In Nashville, just wait 5 minutes and the weather will change. And they said it in Michigan too, and I always laugh because I'm like, yeah, that's what they said in my last town too.
But it's so true. And I really think when you're on the east side of the Rockies, just because when the Gulf is open for business, it is anybody's ball game. Because if the wind's out of the south, you get warmth, you get moisture. If it's out of the north, the wind hurts your face.
Yeah.
It can be so stinking cold outside. And we can just see really volatile swings from day to day. So it's not a boring job. This is not a boring place to be a meteorologist.
Absolutely. What is your favorite weather, by the way?
Fog. It's the lamest one out there.
Lame.
I know. I love fog. I know. I like fog. It's beautiful. There's different kinds of fog, river fog, steam fog. I grew up in a little beach town in California, and ocean fog that used to come off the ocean, just very cleansing to me. So
and I like the rainbow part of it too. Go ahead.
Yes, this is James. I just want to compliment Bree with her weather. She is a excellent. Her body language. She expresses the weather like nobody else does. You can see she really does. And another thing, hats off to Carrie. When Carrie moved to Asheville and joined NewsChannel 5, one of her first things I remember, she was actually at one of the Grammys. And please only take this as a compliment. You looked so nice that night. You should have been in the Grammys instead of reporting them.
Oh, very
thanks
sweet.
to both
Thank
of y'all ladies. You really do a fine job. We love NewsChannel 5.
Thank you very much, James. We'll always take those compliments. I do appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to Smiley. I just love this name. Hi, Smiley. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, this is Smiley.
Hi. Nice to have you on.
Okay, I got in a little late on the conversation here, and if somebody has already asked these questions, I apologize for it. But first of all, is Bree short for something else?
Oh,
good question.
And also the other question is, as I say, I probably missed them if somebody asked it. I apologize. Where are you originally from?
No one asked that, so I'm glad you did.
And the questions are kind of related, so that works.
So not too personal.
No, not too personal at all. I love your name, Smiley. I love that. I hope that's your real name. So Bree is my grandmother's middle name. Actually, her middle name was Embree, E-M-B-R-E-E.
Oh, I like that.
Embree. And so they shortened it to Bree for me. I was born in Denver, and I was born...
Denver?
Yes, and I was born during a blizzard. And my mom had planned on my name being Bree Ann Smith. My dad was a hippie, and it was snowing, and so he filled out my birth certificate and wrote Sunshine. So I'm Bree Sunshine Smith.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, I just want to say that of all the weather people on the local TV, you are absolutely my favorite, and I enjoy watching your weather forecast all the time, and that's all I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Smiley.
Thank you, Smiley.
Okay, bye-bye.
That warms my heart. Thank you.
That's very sweet. We have
That's
another
really an
James
honor.
on the line. Hi, James. Go ahead.
All I wanted to say. Thank you very much.
James, turn down that TV for me and just listen to your phone. It's weird to hear ourselves. James, are you with us there?
Yeah.
Hi, go ahead. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. I just had two quick questions, please. For both of you, the first question, actually for both of you, both questions.
Okay.
Young MC or MC Hammer, because I'm old and you guys are a little bit younger than me. And second part is boxes of briefs.
Oh. Well, neither for me, but thanks.
Yeah. Comfy pants.
Yeah.
I like comfy pants. I'm gonna say MC Hammer.
That's what I was saying, because of the pants, and you know, we probably did that dance
and we're
in middle
moms,
school.
and
Yeah.
I got to get somewhere, man.
That's right.
Yeah, it's all about how quickly we can.
Okay,
we
James,
can get it done.
I think you get the most creative questions for the night.
Yeah.
Let's go to Joey. Joey's on the line. Hi there, Joey.
Yeah, hi. I live in Macomb County, and we mispronounced Lafayette a couple times.
Lafayette?
Yeah, we laughed about that in Macomb County. And we just want to tell you how pretty it is out here. If you ever been out in Macomb County, and it's beautiful out here. We love it, you know. So have you ever been out through this way?
You know, I have. I live in Sumner County, and so
Yeah.
I've been into Smith, and I've been into DeKalb, and I've been in parts of Putnam County. We have 66 counties in
a
our
lot.
viewing
It's a
area.
lot
It's
around
really
the
big. I have not been up to Macon County just yet, but I want to. And funny.
Yeah, it's Lafayette, not Lafayette, but that's a good laugh.
No.
But, come on through here. It's beautiful, you know. We love it, and we love watching you too. So.
Thank you. I will. You know, and it's funny that he would mention Lafayette, because there has been a Lafayette everywhere that I've lived, and it's pronounced differently everywhere. So it's Lafayette here, it's Lafayette in St. Louis, and it's Lafayette.
Oh, wow.
In Louisiana. So I went from Lafayette to Lafayette to Lafayette.
Yes.
And it makes your mouth hurt sometimes.
And especially for meteorologists, but even on the news side of things, that is one of the biggest challenges to overcome, is learning all the towns and how you say them, because there are sticklers in every single place that you work. When I was in Kentucky, there's a place near Lexington called Versailles, which looks like Versailles, but that's not how you say it in Kentucky. And if someone says Versailles, you're like, oh, they're not from here.
They're not from here.
No.
No. That's like New Madrid, the New Madrid Fault. Same thing, when I first moved here, I was staying in Mount Juliet.
Right.
And I said Mount Juliet.
Right. And people were like, no, no, no.
And they were like, no. So I've learned, but it's also, like you said, it's really hard when you've lived somewhere else and you learned it a one way.
Yes.
There's almost like a small battle in your brain sometimes, and sometimes what's up here just doesn't come out right here. So.
No, and I'm lucky enough, when we have scripts with Lafayette, I will make sure that in prompter it has the
Lafayette.
Lafayette. I will make sure I put it in there so it sounds correct. And yeah, it can be tough though.
It can be a doozy, but it's committing to learning those little names. So
that's part of it.
Yes.
Thank you for the reminder, Joey.
I'm coming out. I'm coming out to Lafayette.
Okay, that's really kind of a minor challenge with the job. What has been your biggest challenge overall with this job, would you say?
I think, really speaking to, I guess I wouldn't even call it the challenge, but making sure that you are consistently speaking to the people at home. It's very easy as a scientist, as a meteorologist, to kind of get absorbed sometimes into the geeky factor of it. Or maybe what I find most interesting, I do like fog. Most people are not as jazzed about fog as I am.
Good point.
So when I'm making the forecast, or when I'm putting together my forecast for the night, I usually have 3 minutes. So I have 3 minutes to put the weather story together, to speak to as many people and make sure that they know what they need to know, to farmers, to kids, to moms, to dads, to truckers, to third shift workers. I mean, everyone is impacted by the weather, but I can't sit there and say, okay, Bob, this is what you need to know, and Carrie, this is what you need to know, and James, this is what you need to know. So really challenging myself, I think, daily to tell the story in a way that is the most successful for the most people, and really making sure to keep the story focused on everybody. Because like I said, I mean, we go from Bowling Green, folks can see us all the way down in Alabama. Folks can see us in Crossville up in the higher elevations.
And the weather can be a lot different from one place to the other.
Totally different. So it's not just as simple as saying, well, it's going to be 65 and sunny, because it might be in Nashville, and it might be sleet in Bowling Green. It might be 85 in Alabama. It might be
very realistically, it could be all those things in one day.
Literally all at the same time. I'll get people tweeting me going, you didn't say it was going to do this. And it's like, well, I have to pick 3 minutes to talk about the most impactful and try to cover hundreds of square miles. So, you know, I think that's a part of the challenge.
That's a fair challenge to note. Okay, we have to take another quick break. We're coming back right after this.